A couple weeks ago, we did part 1 of transforming our identity and really starting to transform into leaders. That was part 1, becoming a courageous leader. And this is going to be part 2. And part 2, let me tell you where this idea comes from so much, y'all. And I hope this serves somebody. I hope that you prayed for something and you're like, man, like that's what I was looking for today. You've got to ask yourself the question, what am I going to learn today to turn around and teach to somebody else? But I hope that this inspires you. And I think coming right off of Keegan's message last week, good grief, I'm so inspired by that. But where this comes from is oftentimes I hear people who are so stressed out because they're like, I'm waiting on figuring out the system, right? Like they're just, let me bring this into view, Megan. When you walk into McDonald's, you don't question where the menu is, right?
Right.
And you don't question where the fry machine is, right?
Correct.
And you don't question where the bathroom is, right?
Nope.
So because you're certain of where the things are, you go run forward and you don't question anything. You just execute the system.
Yeah.
Write this down, guys. We're not goal setters. We're system executors. And that sounds really like, I don't know, Terminator style there. But I didn't believe in me when I got started in Primerica as much as I believed in, well, if they do this same thing every single time, then I can do that, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to go to a whole nother level with people having clarity about a system of developing other people. This is not to step on anybody's toes. If there's coaches that are running something a certain way, like listen to your coach. I'm just trying to help contribute to the number one thing that I get all the time from people throughout the hierarchy is, well, what system are you guys running? What system are you guys running? And the number one thing that I see the difference between hierarchies that surge and win, and they have multiple layers of leadership, overlapping layers of leadership, is they are united in a systematic approach, right? It's not everybody kind of cherry picking all these different things and then everybody doing something different, because what that does is it causes so much incoherence. So I hope today to give people some clarity, okay? This is just from what I've seen when Art talks about we've got to go get after recruiting surge, then we can't be questioning all the time if we're the player for the position and what the system is. Does that make sense? I don't mean to go on and on. Okay. All right, guys. So I love that the chat is blown up. So the system of leadership development, let's start off with why, okay? And for the leaders on here, if you guys will unmute yourself, or for anybody that when you read the question, it kind of hits you a certain way, unmute yourself. So why? This is hilarious. Ethan's always like, oh my gosh, the big red screens with the yelling words at me. Why? That has to be answered first. Why does a never-ending perpetual money machine excite you? I guarantee it's not about the money. So why? Can somebody unmute themselves and tell me, why does a never-ending perpetual money machine excite you?
Erin, I think it's the legacy that I can leave behind to my daughter.
Oh, I love it, Craig. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for starting off the energy that way. Why does an unlimited time energize you, somebody?
I can do what I want.
Oh. Andrea, Megan, go ahead.
I was just saying I can do what I need.
do what you need, do what you want. Okay, Andrea, go ahead.
The amount of memory, limitless memories I can create with my family.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love that, Andrea. I heard somebody say to me one time, they said, we all have a different currency, and currency to me is time with my children, quality time with my children. So why does unlimited time energize you? Why do options give you hope, somebody?
Recently, we had somebody in our family that went down with some major health challenges. And, here they are, corporate people, and both of them have to be away from work. Okay. And so at some point, you're going to need a money machine that kicks out money, whether you work or not.
Amen.
And where you want to be free about that, not have to like, oh my gosh, am I going to lose my job over this deal? You know, all that stuff. It's like you want to be free, and you free with this money machine. Go for it.
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Why does investing more in a month than your former annual salary delight you? For all the reasons up above? We have
Yeah,
some.
Yeah.
And you've got can create so much freedom. Art used to tell us, right, Jim, that if we understood how great that really is, we'd work 10 times harder. And I'm telling you, you guys, freedom is so great. And when you can do things like Jim just said, you got a family member, you're the go-to person, you got a family member that needs something, and you don't have to think about it. You can just able to act on it. And needs are so great. Some point in time, all of us are going to need to be a go-to person to somebody.
Amen. 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 That was, oh
Amen.
my gosh. Why does being the one, the hero for your family bring tears to your eyes? For some people, when I say it, you get kind of jolted with something, right?
Mhm.
It's kind of one of those things that leaves you speechless. Why did
nobody else?
Keegan, what'd you say?
Because there's nobody else that will be.
There you go. There
Mhm.
you go. There's that one that just has an obsession, that just says, I won't tolerate watching these things happen anymore. I won't tolerate my kids lessening who they are. I won't tolerate somebody fitting their goals and dreams into something so logical that it's in a teeny tiny shoebox. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be that person, that dreamer and that doer. And just like you said, there's no one else to let's go, right? Let's go. And for those of you that heard Keegan's story, why did Keegan's story impact you?
Because I have huge dragons to slay, very huge, and they're getting big. So his hour of dedication, how he slays his dragons, that hit home.
Amen. Yes. Yes. So
I think
y'all, oh, please go ahead, Robin.
sorry, I was to say it impacted me, and kind of, it wasn't necessarily anything new. We've all heard about being consistent, but just seeing it from his perspective, I don't know, it just did something. It turned on something. I mean, I've done that this week and got more activity than I've had in months. So I don't know why it impacted me, but maybe it was just that little, there was something about the way that he said it. And just like we always say, the meeting that you miss is probably the one that's got that nugget. So I don't know why, but I just know it hit my why and said, okay, I can do this. If he can do that, I can do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am so grateful for every one of you that shared, and there's more of you sharing too, but we're connecting right now. And here's the thing, right? Like, we've heard this before, maybe this is the first time you've ever heard it, but this is a self-improvement vehicle. This is a self-improvement business. This is a self-improvement program with an incredible compensation on the back end. So this is about all of the feelings that you felt when we asked these questions. And I hope that you wrote those things down. I would encourage you to take a screenshot of this, because really starting with why is probably the biggest reason. Ethan and I were talking about this the other day. So many people start with what it is, and then they ask how to do it, and why never gets tapped into. It's why leadership falls apart, because we start with what it is and then how to do it. And then the why becomes an afterthought, right? When you feel like I just can't find clarity on my why, I feel like I'm just bogged down by something. I feel like I'm not clicking into it. I don't know. There's just something missing. Why? Then how? Then what? And I would encourage you to lean all the way into that. And I would encourage you to have that conversation with somebody else, because everybody on here shared like why, because somebody else, Why? Because this is bigger than me. Why? Because I can slay dragons. And I know that there's a giant inside of me. And I know that I'm worthy of it. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know that I was born to do something great. And I was born to make an impact. And I was born to influence people. And I was born to be the one. And I was born to be called on. I know those feelings inside of me. Why? And I just encourage you to dream again, right? But we got to start with why in every single conversation, moving forward first. Then we're going to get into the how. Okay. And then we're going to get into the what to end this today. Okay. So one of the things that I feel so heavy on my heart is that this hierarchy, we must come together. We get to come together. I am so grateful we get to come together, and we get to come together and make a decision that this hierarchy, which is every one of us, transitions from a cup to a pitcher, right? We don't come in here going, how are you going to pour into me? We come in here and we switch and we go, what am I going to learn today to turn around and intentionally call another human being up and pour into them? If you need hope, find the hope today to turn around and give somebody else hope, right? You want hope, give it to somebody else. You want leadership, give it to somebody else. You want vision, give it to somebody else, right? But we have to make an internal shift from I'm a cup, you pour into me because I am inadequate, I am incapable, I need you to give me something, right? To, whoa, I didn't even realize that's how I was showing up, to I am a pitcher that is going to pour out into other people. So this hierarchy explodes with that adjustment first. Do you guys agree? The leaders on here, do you guys agree? You feel that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what I'm so grateful for in this is that we get to step into the rest of this training today, and we're going to go, I'm going to learn to teach. So if I get one slide today, I'm calling somebody up and I'm going to teach them. If I get one word today, I'm going to call somebody up to learn and teach them. If I get one inspired action, I'm going to get a hold of somebody today on my team, and I'm going to intentionally teach them what I just learned, because that's how you're going to retain it. That's how you're going to get confidence in it. But it won't be showing up on here as a cup. It will be showing up as a pitcher, right? The second thing is we're going to have to, we always, we used to hear like tough love. In the world we're in today, it's love tough, right? Like, COVID did something to everybody. And I know you guys feel that. Mental health got just obliterated, right? People's want and need for connection got so heavy and real for people that it's this hierarchy that has to come together. It's the teams that we have must come together. We must find a reason and we must understand that we have got to come together, and we've got to love first the most. And then because we love each other, because we love, then we can be accountable, right? And the tough comes after, the love comes first, right? Be super intentional, because it's time to build right now. The world is screwed up. I know you guys feel that. I feel it too. The world is screwed up. Families are screwed up, and nobody's coming to save us. We've got to make a decision that this hierarchy from right here. Let me tell you guys this. Mario Arizon came together with 13 people, and they went from 400,000 to 1.3 million in under 24 months. 13 people. There's 48 on here right now. Right? And so all it takes is a few of us making a decision. I'm not going to be a cup. I'm going to be a pitcher. I'm going to learn this to teach it. I'm going to be intentional about that. I'm going to be super intentional about what I'm doing with my time right now, because it can't be 24 months from now. The world is messed up. It can't be way down the line. The time is now. Our kids aren't getting any younger. We're not getting any younger. Our grandparents aren't getting any younger. Our parents aren't getting any younger. Our spouse isn't getting any younger. The time is right now to make the impact that we want to make. So how are we going to do this, right? One, we have to have very clear goals that are shown daily. Remember, nobody's teaching you this for you to hoard it. We're teaching today, right? Right, Erica? I'm just calling different people's names out that I see pop up here, right? But we have to have very clear goals. So does your team see it? Does your coach see it? Very clear goals visible every single day, right? The system is shown and executed every single day. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys that right at the end so that you have clarity on it, but it's got to be over communicated. That's one thing that Coach Jim taught me. He was like, if you're going to talk about promotions and you're going to talk about guidelines, they got to be talked about every day, often, every day, often, every day, often, right? Make things easy. Human nature is very complex. We're complicated people. We can't naturally make things harder. We have to make them so easy. A kindergartner could do it, right? Teach everything the same way. Spend a lot of time with your team. Connection is always going to come before commitment. So my encouragement, y'all, myself, for every one of us here, Jim, how badly do you want us all to be in an office, all energized together, everybody coming together, feeling each other's energy, seeing each other, shaking hands, hugging each other, high-fiving each other?
And there's nothing better than that personal synergy for sure. So when
Absolutely.
everybody has different ways of doing things, but at the same time, there's an energy about that because they gain confidence in the fact is they don't have to be an exact robot that everybody does it exactly like Shane does it or Erin does it or I do it. But we can all work together and our strengths are in our togetherness.
Right. Our strengths are in our togetherness. So guys, here's the thing, right? The last 3 years, COVID's taught all of us a bunch of different things, right? But one of the things that most of us didn't have a manual about is how do we build this business and make maximum impact in such a digital world, in such a world that is behind computer screens? Well, I would encourage at least 1 to 2 times a week, like intentional schedule to come together, like come to the office and be together, have lunch together, have a phone blitz together, have a vision board. We call them mind movies, have it together 1 to 2 times a week, but physically be together, right? I'll have to share my mind movie with you, Coach. It's awesome. If I do say so myself.
I love it. Great word picture.
But connection comes before commitment, y'all. And so think about this as we move forward, that people are longing for that big time. We're going to talk about following the jar. We're going to talk about the self-development and leadership every single day. So there's 4 major milestones. Sorry that you can hardly see the white colors in here, but 4 major milestones. We're talking systems here. People ask why all the time. 1, it's getting started. Keep it this simple. 2, it's becoming a field trainer, ASAP. 3, it's becoming an RVP, ASAP. 4, it's getting full ownership. This is it. It's this simple. Remember I said what we have to do is keep things simple. It doesn't need to be 500 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a screenshot and let's rock and roll. How? So we're going to do some troubleshooting first off. I was inspired by this when we had the Ortiz family come in. And I think this is really cool. And the reason I think this is really cool is because it's a lot simpler, don't you guys agree, to isolate one single thing instead of having 5,000 racing thoughts trying to figure out where you are. You could be a brand new person, or you could be making the decision that it's time to surge. But no matter what, you're going to find yourself in one of these categories, and you're going to see your team in one of these categories. And so being able to help people isolate instead of feeling frantic is a very important thing. So 1, business troubleshooting and grade system. I would encourage everybody to take a screenshot. If you notice that in your team or for yourself personally, that your recruiting is up and your premium is down, the thing you want to isolate is teach your trainers how to get new recruits off to a fast start today. Hold a meeting together, connect with each other, and teach your trainers how to get new recruits off to a fast start today. That's one single item. That's a win. That's a victory today. Win the day, right? Second thing, make sure every new recruit is doing their own personal financial needs analysis the same day as the IBA, if they haven't already, or within 48 hours. This is a system, right? It's very hard to be convicted about what you're doing when you've never done it yourself. I can't tell you how great the steak is if I've never eaten at the steakhouse, right? If I haven't had the opportunity to ask the questions personally, I'm not that convicted about what's going on. Make sure every new recruit is doing their own personal F&A same day as IBA if they haven't already, or within 48 hours. Number 3, show new recruits why they want to book 10 appointments with you in their first week. Guys, I just brought a brand new guy in the business and I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have 2 times. Here's what's great about Zoom is that we can collapse timeframes. I said, we can do it in office if you want to do it in office in person, or we're going to do it on Zoom one way or the other. But we're going to put 5 to 10 people together that you want to have as partners. We're going to have 5 to 10 people that you want to have as clients. And we're going to have a 30-minute session together. And so we're collapsing timeframes. And he said, but Erin, what if I don't have 10 on the first one? Does that mean I'm a failure? I said, absolutely not. We're going to work together to set 10 and 5 are going to show up. And you're going to feel really dadgum great about what's going to happen from there. Versus if I told you to set 1, think about this, guys, and really get this in your mind. If you've got 2 people on your team and the first person, the expectation you set up for them is, hey, we're going to get you started, go start setting appointments. They don't have an expectation or a standard, first off. And then the second thing is if they're like, okay, I got 1 appointment on Tuesday, it's going to take them 8 weeks before they actually run 8 appointments. It's going to take them 8 weeks. Do you guys believe that that person feels like a winner, a champion, like they can conquer the world, like they have the support that they need, that they can go get after this thing if it takes somebody 8 weeks before they get 1 recruit?
Mm-mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely
No.
not. Versus the second person, you go, hey, Mike, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you set the appointments. We're going to put 10 people in together here. We're going to put 10 people in together here. Mike, if you don't get 10, but we get 5 out of 10 that are on that, you're such a stud, right? Because Mike's going to have so much frequency of seeing something back to back to back to back. I have built a relationship with him before those appointments and after those appointments, right? Mike feels like $1 million about appointment number 3, right? And he's been able to see something over and over and over and over again. And he's actually got the support. He's got the backing. He's got the vision. And he's not thinking about that one person who said, not for me, right? He's like, I just had 5 people show up for me. Does that make sense? So we got to show our new recruits why they want to book 10 appointments in their first week. Does that make sense? And the last one is have more of a focus on IPAs. Who here can tell me what an IPA is? If your recruiting is up and your premium is down. It's not
Income producing activity.
There you go. Yeah. Income producing activity. Absolutely. Income producing activity. And independent producing agents. But income producing activity. Yes, absolutely. All right, so we've got to get into right market appointments. Take a screenshot of this. We're going to keep going. How? This is a grading. This is a system, right? How? If your recruiting is down, just check yourself. If your recruiting is down and your premium is up, what you want to isolate is train on how to recruit across the kitchen table. Train on all forms of prospecting and set a sacred hour, right? Get the sacred hour locked in there. For those that thought it was a good idea last week with Keegan, I would totally do it for sure. Robin just said that she's had more activity in the past week than she's had in a really long time, right? Recruit through the new recruits best 3 market, right? Go get 3 for them. Okay. If anybody has any questions, ask them, by the way. How? If your recruiting is flat, if your premium is flat, what do you think you got to go do? You got to be the leader that you want. And you got to go find new people who want to win. But you got to be intentional. Remember that one of the first things I said was be intentional. I used a really horrible analogy the other day. My analogy was like a dating app, which I've never used ever in my entire life, but I got a good idea of probably what's on there. You have a filter a bit of the qualities of what you're looking for. Now, we don't judge a book by its cover here, but you have ideas of values of people. You got to get really intentional about who you're looking for. What are their qualities? What are their values, right? Are they aligning? But the leader, you must go find new people who want to win like today, right? With a massive sense of urgency. Go bring in 3 new people that are between the ages of 23 and 25 years old. And why do I say that? Because you want some young puppies that want to surge, that have energy, that want to go win. And it doesn't matter if that's not who you are at the moment. Get them plugged in with somebody that is, so that you can start really getting a surge. We have got to go do this together, right? Create competition inside of your team for a win, right? I've been somebody who never, ever, ever has waited on somebody else to call a play. I go, what's the play, coach? And whatever it takes, I'll book the flight. I'll get in the car. I'll drive from midnight till 2 a.m. to go get into an environment that I need to bring it back to pour into other people. I will take other people with me. I will pay for other people to go with me, but you better qualify, right? Because I want champions that want to win around me. But this is what we've got to do. This is what you've got to do. This is what we've got to do together if our recruiting is flat and our premium is flat, right? Keeping it simple. What about if our recruiting is up, our premium is up, and our income is down? Stop recruiting in the wrong market. Now, I'm not saying don't ever recruit an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, right? I'm not saying don't go do that. I'm saying check your business right now and where is it at the moment? This is a tester, right? QBI training immediately, right? We've done a QBI training. You guys can go to our past recordings. We've done QBI training. I have an exceptional QBI training that we can share with anybody. Get with your head coach, but do a QBI training immediately. If you notice you're closing business and you're like, I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid. Hey, coach, I need help with QBI training right now because I'm messing up my income, right? There's claims that are not going to get paid. I'm messing up everybody's bonuses and the whole team's QBI. So I got to take responsibility for this. Love, tough, right? Not getting 3 new recruits. If your recruiting is up, your premium is up, and your income is down, you've got the what do I want to say? The flamingo effect going on, like the one-legged thing where we're just like standing on, I'm just a wet blanket for that one person, right? You got to go get 3, you got to go get wider, right? And the last one would be there's no spread. So here everybody is just chilling, stuck, right? You got to call a play, you got to call an audible, you got to go, hey, we're going to go surge and promote as many people as we can together, but promotion's in motion and make it a run and do it now, right? We're at the halfway mark of the month. And so here's the thing, like, how badly did you want the things that you said why about when we got started? You got to ask yourself that question. You got to test that question, right? The next thing is, what if your recruiting's down, your premium's down, and your income is up? Well, that's super fun if you're Jim Nye, right? Like, that's awesome if you're a head coach that's like built this massive, incredible business. But I would say that most people on here are not in that place where they can, where they've done that yet, right? So if I can be honest, you're not keeping the main thing for most people on here, okay? Every other day, the main thing is investing. And every other day, the main thing is Vivint. And every other day, the main thing is whatever the heck else it is. The main thing, what's the main thing? Can somebody unmute themselves and tell me what the main thing is? If you wanted all of the why things that you were talking about to start.
Focus on recruiting.
There you go. Recruiting and building, recruiting and building, recruiting and building.
More licenses, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Recruiting and building, right? Because we can't build IBAs, right? It's recruiting and building by pushing up people who get licensed, right? To be completely honest, we've become a Primerica employee or self-employed. We came here because we want a perpetual money machine and we want unlimited time. And we want to be the hero for our family, and we want to have something to pass on and a legacy for our children, right? For all of those whys that people put, you can't be an employee. You can't be self-employed. Honestly, we have to go build other people, right? Work heavily on people skills and personal leadership development. When your recruiting is down, your premium is down, and your income is up, the people skill part, we got to take a really honest look at things like that, right? The leadership development. What we do on our team is we start every morning with a gratitude walk, and we listen to a leadership podcast, or we read a book, right? We read 10 pages of it, and then we're intentional about turning around and teaching that to somebody else. If we're still in the mode of, I learned something and I'm just going to keep it in here quiet, silent, and assume that other people are watching me transform, that's not leadership development. That's not connecting, and it does not create a surge. It's the opposite of that. Nobody, as Whitney Cooper always says, like, nobody's inside there, right? So we got to take something and intentionally pour it out to somebody else. If your recruiting's up, your premium's up, your income's up, don't change a dadgum thing, because you're crushing it. And what's really exciting, I hope you guys took pictures of this, is that now you can go, okay, I know why I want to win, you want to win, we want to win, right? And now how we can grade ourselves and isolate. Because one of the things I've had to really take to heart is it's never as bad as it feels right in that moment, right? And it, like, you wake up the next day and you go, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Like, Jim, how many times did you think you weren't going to make it the next day, but you got up and you're like, God is great?
Huh. Oh, I never ever spoke that. And how many times I thought about it, I don't know, but
you
all
got
I
rid
know
of it
was
real quick.
I went after it, and I just got after it the next morning, and it's like, okay, Control, Alt, Delete, let's go.
There you go. Absolutely. And so guys, just grade that right there. Now we're going to run through some grades really quick, right? Excellence. It's personal excellence is the greatest form of rebellion, but I think this is really, really awesome. Like Shane always talked about, like, you have to have a standard of excellence, or by default, you have a standard of mediocrity. And I thought, man, you know what? Like, this is really incredible. We're going to love, and then we're going to be tough on, hey, you know what? I'm just going to say this as an example. Hey, Mike, you're an absolute stud at this. You are absolutely incredible at connecting with people and loving on people and being the most dependable guy and the most loyal guy, right? I'm using Mike as an example, and I mean all of those things I just said. And Mike, you're not showing up the way that I see your potential, right? So this is love tough, because people who love each other tell each other the truth. And then what we do is, I'm not going to assume, Mike, I'm not going to assume that I know what's going on. So I'm going to ask some questions, right? Because I care about you. I want to grab lunch together. I want to grab a coffee together. I want to be together, and I want to connect with each other. And I want to understand where you are right now. And then we're going to build a pathway up and out, right? But that's what I just showed a moment ago, is to help people build a pathway together that we can move forward on. But I think oftentimes where we all get very stressed out, or at least I have in the past, is not understanding what great standards are. And so what everybody's learning here today, again, is you're learning to turn around and teach, but take a screenshot of these and then develop and demonstrate together in your office for the hierarchy. I'm sorry I took a screenshot of this. This is when Omar Opeza did it. And I was like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. So monthly recruits with your team. Grade yourself. At the end of it, you're not your final grade. You're just aware, and now you have standards, right? So now we have a focal point, and now we have a way to start building out and up, right? This, what I do, impacts the hierarchy. What each individual person does or doesn't do impacts the hierarchy, right? And so I'm excited about that. I'm talking to a bunch of leaders, and that we get to go surge together, but this is what we get to look at, right? So grade yourself real quick on the monthly recruits. Let's grade ourselves on the monthly premium. Personal, team, just grade it real quick. Because here's the thing, y'all, if you write this down real quick, this completely fired me the heck up. I said, I'm not a goal setter, right? I can't look at this and go, my goal is 20,000 or 29,000 a premium. My goal is 30,000 or 49,000 a premium, because I'm going to get mad at myself today. But I can be clear on, that's my vision. So I'm going to write it down. I'm going to talk about it every day. I'm going to share it every day, right? Because those were the first steps we talked about. But then what can I go win today? Y'all, if you were to set 3 appointments in your sacred hour, Robin, in your sacred hour of 60 minutes, have you happened to set 3 appointments at all from
No.
a sacred hour?
I haven't set in that hour, I haven't set them, but from the phone calls from that, yes.
That's what I was asking from them, right? So I'm
Yes.
noticing, I love that, Robin. What I'm noticing myself is when I do my sacred hour, it's like 1 to 2 days later that the people get a hold of me and I set the appointment.
Yes.
It's like consistently doing that.
Yes.
But what's awesome, and I'm so proud of you, is that you're showing up for it. And in your showing up, you inspire me. And in your showing up, you inspire Ethan. And I hope that you never forget. And I hope anybody on here doing your sacred hour never forgets like how impactful you're showing up and honoring that for yourself is really making a huge difference to somebody else. So if you guys write this down, right? I said 3 appointments from your sacred hour. 3 appointments times 30 days, y'all. Write this down as 90 for the month. 90 sets, you'll see 50% of them in the month. Want to know how people just turn it on? Want to know how people surge all of a sudden? 45 appointments in a month, you and your team. Hey, Ethan, write this down. Of 45 appointments, 50% of them need and want to be your life insurance client. All of them need to be your life insurance client. But 50% of them are going to go ahead and close in that month, which would be $22,500 a premium. So anybody that's like, man, I'm at an F right now, I'm at a D right now, I'm at a C right now. I just told you how to go from where you are to a B just like that. And it's 3 sets, right? A day. And somebody else, right? Valeria, of the 22,500 of premium, 50% of them are going to come work with you. It's just the numbers, right? It's just the numbers. So that's 12 to 13 new recruits. So to be able to know that the system is here, people are looking for the system all the time. And so we don't have to leave another day. We don't have to leave another Saturday. And we don't need to ask like, what's the system? What do you do? What order do you do things in? I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But we have to have standards. We have to have a vision. We have to have something that's really exciting. Hey, Coach Jim, if somebody took the coaching right there and wrote 22,000 of premium in a month as a regional vice president, roughly what would be their income?
Well, if you took the advanced, probably in the 12,000 range, depending on the type of age group that they're in. But yeah, so 12 to 15 grand.
Yep, 12 to 15 grand. Yep. Hey, does that help somebody? Does that change somebody's life? Does that make the hierarchy? Like, we're here to develop each other, right? We're here to be leadership development, right? We want to develop leaders, okay? Annual codes, right? We have to have code goals. These are life licenses. So for brand new or newer people on here, that's like, what does that mean? Like 16 to 25 codes, right? So 2 to 3 new codes or licenses per month is going to put you at about a C, right? And what have they said before? For every 30 new codes that you have is on average an extra 100,000 a year. Is that right? Or am I off on that?
Say that again.
That's
For
correct.
tell us. Okay, thanks. Tell us for every 30 new life licenses is an average of 100,000 a year raise.
Yes.
That's awesome. So guys, just set your goals. Just be aware. This is about isolating and just getting really clear on some goals. Cash flow. What I think is so cool about this is not talking about, I love this. This is my favorite one. This is not about the money that you make. It's about how many other people you're helping reach their goals, right? Reach their why that we started this entire conversation off with. We are pitchers, not cups. And that's what's really exciting about this. So in your base shop directs to you how many people are making over $1,000 a month. This part is very energizing to me. I don't know how you guys feel. This is energizing to me to have goals like this about pouring in and pushing up people, right? And so hierarchy grades, we're a hierarchy. I love you guys, you're family. And so direct RVPs making over $100,000 a year. Let's talk about some goals, right? Let's talk about some goals. And what's great about this is we started off with why. We're going through what, and now or we went through how, and now it's time to charge. Now it's time to charge. You know, I've heard before, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong at all on this, but I know that there are superstars in this hierarchy, absolutely amazing, amazing people. And one of the things that always inspired me is Shane had mentioned how he would like fly out somewhere and come back and get a few more people and fly out. And what he was doing is he was injecting in people the vision, right? And I think it's so incredible to know that wherever anybody is right now, like there's over 50 people on here. Mario Arizon went from 400,000 to $1.3 million in less than 24 months, pushing up people, but 13 people going, I'm committed. Let's go. This is about leadership development. That's the difference. All of this is going to change when we make a decision that we're going to charge on leadership development, right? And I just think that's so exciting. So I think one of the things that I had to wrap myself around is this is a team building philosophy. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3, right? When we talk about recruiting directs, here's what a recruiter does. And I hope that this helps somebody a little bit with their identity, a little bit with flipping that switch in their mind. Is whatever somebody currently does, the more familiar you can make this to what they're already doing, the easier it is for them to step into a season of developing a new gift, right? Without having a massive identity crisis. I think the reason that people sit back and observe is because they're having a massive identity crisis. The first thing they're doing is, what is this? And then how do I do this? And then why becomes an afterthought, right? So tell us, let me ask you this question, right? Coach, tell us, what do you do for a living in your former?
I'm a pastor.
Pastor, that's awesome. What energizes you about being a pastor? What do you love most about it?
First off, bringing people to the Lord, and then secondly, seeing them elevate and grow their relationship with Him, and just become better vessels for Him to be able to use them to be able to bring other people to the Lord.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Tell us, I am so grateful. You've got to be the luckiest, most blessed person alive. And I love that you love that. And that's exactly what we do here, right? So you're doing it on your platform, and this is a platform to do the exact same thing. And let me show you how. And so really, guys, it's about helping people in their mind and in their heart understand what they're already doing is what they're going to bring here and use as a platform. Does that make sense? I think so many times we make this so complicated. And when we teach the process and the system of recruiting, most of us are trying to get somebody to go from being Farmer Bob to Primerican Bob. And like, what? Like, what does Bob do over there? He sows seeds, he nurtures seeds, right? And it's harvest time. And it's the same thing over here. It's the same thing over here. Seed time, harvest. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do that with people over here. We're going to build a business by pouring into other people, nurturing other people, and then helping other people get where they want to go. I think that we have to make recruiting that simple. The faster you can help people identify that what they were already doing is what they're going to do here. Let me give you guys my example. When I got started here, I told Coach Carrie, like, I'd be horrible at this business. I gave her every objection. It just flowed like wine. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I'd be horrible at this business. And she said, why do you say you'd be horrible at this business? And I said, because I'm a bartender and a server. I know nothing about money. And she said, let me ask you a question, Erin. When you started at your job, did you have to learn a menu? I said, yeah. And she said, and then when you walk up to people who sit at a table, do you just go up and start telling them what they're going to get? Or do you come up and say, hi, how are you? What would you like? I said, yeah, that's exactly what I do. She said, fantastic. That's exactly what we do here. I'm going to teach you the menu, and we're going to go to people and we're going to say, what would you like? We're going to help people realize their goals and dreams. And then your job, Erin, is to take that to the chef and come back and deliver it to them. I'm going to show you how we do it. Okay. She didn't have to give me the whole menu And she didn't have to do all the things. She needed to help me realize that what I was already doing is exactly what I was going to do here. Whatever you formerly did, that's exactly what you're doing here. And it's the same thing. If we're going to go on a surge of recruiting people, we got to keep it that simple, right? Second thing is building teams of people. The fastest way to repel a quarterback from your business, and everybody wants a world-class quarterback in their business. They want the person that's going to call the play. They want the person that's going to throw the game-winning throw, right? They want that person that kind of has that lead energy and synergy and mindset, right? They want that, but the fastest way to kill a quarterback ever stepping into your business is don't give the quarterback anybody to throw the ball to. So to the person that brings one person in the business and lays on top of them and starts trying to just like force feed all of the stuff into them, like you're going to repel quarterbacks. The only way to get quarterbacks is for a quarterback to go, oh, you introduced me to the game. Oh my gosh, I see who I can throw the ball to. That's a surge, guys. We got a surge right now. And 3, it's developing independent field trainers. Here's what we teach our people. You're going to watch 3 with me. At the end of it, we're going to talk about what we just did. So you're going to watch 3. The next 3, we're going to split 50-50. You're going to run most of it, and I'm going to fill in where you need my help. That's on the next 3. The last 3, I'm not saying anything. It's you. It's showtime. It's go time. But at the end of each one of those 3, we're going to do a recap. We're going to do sports tape. We're going to have 5 questions to ask. We should have independent field trainers really quick. Like within 2 weeks max, we should have people who are like, hey, you know what? Like I'm running this thing. Like I've got this, right? That's how simple this has got to be. Okay. Sorry how blurry this is. I did take a picture of this probably like 10 years ago and I loved it. Here's what I needed to know, Ethan. I needed to know what I could control and what I couldn't control. If we're going to go surge, and for many people, you're thinking, I already know this. But the killer in the hierarchy is if people go, I already know this, but I'm not going to teach it to somebody else, right? This is about leadership development. So I can't watch this and keep it to myself as soon as I get off this training, right? Tell us, I got to take this and I got to intentionally call a play. I got to intentionally call a couple of my people together. And I got to intentionally teach what I just learned. I've got to go develop other people intentionally. So we can't control this, right, Ethan? If we're going to go bring 10 people into the business, and it's this simple, Ethan, we're going to go get 3 for you in the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to do it together. Then you and I are going to work together to make sure that we go get 3 for those people, okay? So 3 who get 3 is how much, somebody?
9.
9. Who get 3, 12. We did that one weekend, next weekend. We're double-digit recruiting. We're at 12. Does this need to take 6 months or 90 days or forever until the end of the year? Absolutely not. It needs to take now to the end of June, now to the 4th of July. So we can't control this, Ethan. 10 people get started in your leg. 4 of them are going to quit this very second. Sign the IBA. You got their onboarding. They're not there. Now, you know that that doesn't happen on our team because we take the time to get to know people. We get to connect with people. We're building relationships with people. We're not flinging spaghetti up. But know this, that humans are humans. And just like the gym, if 10 people sign up for the gym, 4 of them ain't showing up later. They're not coming in tomorrow. And that does not mean that you're a loser or that you're unworthy or that you are incapable. It means humans are humans. Love them anyways. And let's go do what we're going to do, right? So 10 of them are going to join you in business. 2 are going to quit within a few weeks. 2 of them are going to hang out. We call them SEALs, right? Just love, love, love. Hey, 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 what's up? Like they're going to wear your colors forever and ever and ever, but they don't want to be pushed on accountability. They don't want to come out of this training and go, I learned to teach today. They go, that was entertaining, right? 2 of them are going to get licensed. 1 of them is going to be a player. Coach, what are we winning? Let's go, right? I had a guy who asked me the other day after onboarding, he said, hey, Erin, when should I schedule my test? We already went over this on his onboarding, right? And he said, when should I schedule my test? 2 weeks out? And I said, heck no, 3 days. He said, oh, heck yeah. That's a player, right? So Ethan, we can't control the 10, or we can't control what these people are going to do, but we can bring in the 10 together, can't we? And the number one way to attract a quarterback is to have the quarterback see that they have people to play with. They have somebody to throw the ball to. Okay. Sorry, this looks really, really bad, but I love this type of stuff because, guys, we're not goal setters, we're system executors. Goal setters are people who say, I'm going to do 3 by 8,000. And then they keep staring at how they haven't done 3 by 8,000. A goal setter is somebody who says, I'm going to become a regional leader. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I can't do it because I've never done it before. A system executor says, I'm going to show up. She said, have that sacred hour and set 3. Right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up, sacred hour, set 3. That's what I'm going to do. Right? A recruit isn't a recruit until they have a recruit. So Ethan, step 1, and I'm just talking to you, Ethan, here to keep this simple. Ethan, step 1, right? We're going to go get 3. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. 1, we're going to go get 3 for you. I myself going to go get 1, 2, 3. Erin's got to go get 3 directs. Ethan's got to go get 3 directs, right? Then we're going to go get 3 for them, right? And then we're not going to stop until you and I are 4 deep in that leg. Does this make sense? Speed and urgency. This says within 7 days, we're going to have 3 for you. So I myself have to leave this meeting and say, I'm getting 3. Then I myself have to share this vision with my brand new person and say, I'm going to go get 3 for you. We're going to do this together fast, like in less than 7 days. Who can we see today? Worst case scenario tomorrow. If we don't system execute, the system can't ever turn on for us. It can't ever work. How many people are sick and tired of telling yourself the story that you're not good enough to go crush it in this hierarchy when really, truly, I guarantee you're good enough to take your gifts and go find 3 people that want to be somebody, 3 people that want more than where they currently are. 3 people that you can go identify a gift in them and say that to them, and 3 people that you can go get plugged into something bigger than themselves. I guarantee you can do that. So 1, 2, 3, and then turn around and share the vision with them. We're going to go get 3 for you in 7 days. But if I don't adhere to the system, I can't be upset and say the system doesn't work. This is the system. For some people, this is the first time you're seeing a system, right? And then we don't stop until we're 4 deep, because Ethan, here's the deal. If I got you started in the business and I just lay over the top of you and you're my quarterback, you don't ever see that there's anybody to throw the ball to. You don't believe, right? So my job as the leader, whoever's the leader on here, it's your job to go fast, 4 deep fast. That's where the superstar is going to be. Anybody ever see the statistic that say that if you bring one person into your business and you just leave them hanging, they have a 10% success ratio or probability? But if you go get 4 deep, it's like 97%. And so as a hierarchy, when we're like, I want to go push up people and I want to develop leaders, this is where it begins, right? I'm almost done. Double-digit recruiting, okay? Double-digit recruiting. Tell us if we're just one and then the other and then the other, and we take 6 months to get this, do you know that that does not work? Does every leader on here who has any type of wisdom know that that doesn't work?
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. So 1 and then the slow burn, and then 1 and then the slow burn, and then 1 and then the slow burn. Here's what I promise you, I guarantee you're going to feel. You're going to feel like a loser, and you're not. You're going to feel unworthy, and you're not. You're going to feel like there's all of these fires and all these problems that you have to fix, and it's not true at all. It's you got to just go run the system, right? So this is, we're going to get 3, and then we're going to go get 3 for them. So if you're a leader, your number one focal point has got to be, we're all leaders. We have got to switch from a cup to a pitcher, and we've got to go help people. So Ethan, one of the number one things we got to do, right, is we got to go get 3. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to get 3 for them. And we're going to turn around and get 3 for them, because we've got to be involved in 10 on your team, because your quarterback needs to know where they can throw the ball. And if I can teach you how to do that, Ethan, then you're going to turn around and teach the next person how to do that, right? It's not any longer up to that head coach to keep doing what that head coach just taught somebody to do, y'all. So we have to say that to people, though. We have to help people understand that this is leadership development, right? And so the game plan is very simple: recruit directs, build teams, develop independent leaders. We get people started, we take the IBA and we do their onboarding orientation within 24 to 48 hours. We build their list right there with them. The list is in hand, it is built. We do not get off the orientation without that. And we go help them max out their field training bonus. But that's literally the process of this. So one, figure out our why. Leadership's not about making everyone happy. It's about calling the play. It's about loving people, love, tough, right? And stop focusing on the scoreboard and focus on what it takes to put points on the scoreboard. And in order for our kids to have the best shot in life, our kids need to see us giving life our best shot. Ethan, what did Elon Musk say the other day? I think it's really, really powerful for you to say this part so that I can finish up with this. This is the final what.
Yeah, he said, have goals that make you glad to be alive. You know, life can't be about solving one miserable problem after another. You have to focus on things that make you glad to be alive, focusing on the why that makes you get out of bed every day, and make it mean it. Make the alternative. You know, he said, if we don't succeed at this, it's going to be a message to the people that we love and care about that they don't have a reason to try in their lives. That's the kind of stake he put on the goals that he's after and the vision that he has. It's not, oh, I'd love to get around to doing this. It's, I have to do this. I have a purpose and a mission that I got to go get after this, and getting to that emotional state of why this goal has impact, not only for you, but the people that you love and care about. And then making it that important, that level of severity is what's going to get you from knowing what to do to doing it.
So you said one line in there, Ethan, that I want to make sure that somebody that just needed to hear this at the right time, like it just hits you in a different kind of way, right? It just hits you right in the heart, a different kind of way. You said us not succeeding and going for it and succeeding in the why is surely what?
Is surely a message to the people who look up to us as a reason not to try.
I think that has a lot of weight. I think that's got a lot of weight. And so the final thing I want to close out with this is the what, right? We talked about why. And I think, to me, the greatest thing about all of this today is about helping each and every one of us go, this is not just about me. This is leadership development. I'm here to pour out, push up, and surge with a hierarchy that wants to go surge too. Ethan put this together, and I think it's really incredible. So the why to start, the how, right? We just talked about this morning, and then the what. And the reason why I think this fits so well for the what is just to simply say to people, like, just like McDonald's has a system, we have a system here. So if you feel like, what's my next step? What do I do? What system do I run? What visual pipeline am I following? This is the visual pipeline that we follow, right? And I just share this because I would take a picture of this and just keep this here often to go, okay, so we got somebody started in the business. We're doing their onboarding and building their list. We put together their personal financial game plan. We're setting appointments together. We're aiming for 10 in your first week, right? I'm going to field train you through that. It's on the job. It's real life experience. Then we're going to get you licensed, right? And what we do is we recognize people's gifts. And I love that Jim said that a moment ago. I love that Coach Jim said that. He said, it's not one person's gift. It's not one person who's really great at it. Like, that's impossible. It's all of us bringing our gifts together. And so there's some people that are really incredible visionaries. They are incredible at casting the vision and being the Energizer Bunny, right? And they loving people. And you know what? You got to have a whole bunch of those people that feel like they have a place that they can spread their wings and fly. And so those are going to be the people that we recognize as really incredible marketing specialists, right? These are the people, know a new agent's why, get the contact list. You're going to qualify and set appointments with them, create a win for people today. You're going to be the ones that are really casting the vision, keeping the temperature high, right? This is where you shine. Don't go to rooms where you're tolerated, go to rooms where you're celebrated for your gift, okay? And so recognize somebody else on your team today and go, you are unbelievable at this. Love them for what they're great at. Don't silence them at what they're great at, right? And then on the other side of that, you're going to have people that are crusaders, detail-oriented, incredible, like detailed before and after type people. Like they want to sit on the appointment for an hour to 2 hours and make it perfect and make it great and do something unbelievable with the clients. Now, we might love doing both and we need to know how to do both. But I challenge you today to start developing leaders who can shine where they're unbelievable and give them something encouraging and exciting to look forward to. Because from here, right, you're going to go here, you're going to go here, right? Have both spouses present, right? Go ahead and put their game plan together. Come back with something unbelievable. Change somebody's entire financial life and future, right? Get to district leader and do it quickly and turn around and promote your team. And that's how you're going regional vice president. Does this help anybody at all to see a visual process of a system that we can go run and get after together as a hierarchy?
Absolutely.
Picture's worth 1,000 words.
There you go. Absolutely. Guys, I'm excited. I want to be somebody so bad. I want to help you guys be everything that you were called to be. Anything that we can ever do to serve you guys, we want to, but we love and respect every single one of you. Thanks, guys. Happy Saturday.
That was amazing, Erin. Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you,
Thank you.
Erin. Thank you, Erin.
Totally
Bye,
awesome.
y'all.
Rock and roll.
Love you guys.
Great day. Great days ahead.